Muy buenas amigos de YouTube, bienvenidos una vez más a mi canal, a un video más de Premonition. En el capítulo anterior estábamos entrevistando a todos, interrogando mejor dicho, a todas las personas que han venido a la junta. Y me faltó uno, que está por aquí, así que este es el último. Pero, no sé, no veo ningún sospechoso.
Agent.
Brian el Insomne, guarda del
Good evening,
cementerio.
Mr.
Brian, the gravekeeper. Brian.
Mr. Brian. I like the retro look. Auditioning for Little Grave on the Prairie?
Anna. Oh, she was so beautiful. Too soon. Too soon to go to the grave. So sad. So sad.
I totally agree. That's why I'm here, looking for the one who did it. Were you close to her?
Anna. Her smile. So warm. Anna. Blonde hair. So bright.
There's a graveyard somewhere in town, Zach. I'm not excited about the idea, but maybe we should at least check it out.
Y sí, obvio que iba a haber un cementerio en el pueblo.
Agent Morgan, I'd like to let everyone go home now. Let's go outside.
Vale, hablamos con los principales sospechosos. Tengo que decir que el policía pensé que podía llegar a ser el asesino, pero no. Y de todos los que están acá, no me late que sea ninguno realmente. Pero...
Well then, Agent York, do you have any plans for this evening?
I was going to head back to the hotel and go over my notes. I need to contact HQ and give a progress report too.
Okay, then let's call it a day here.
Sounds good?
Contact my office when you finish your report. We'll pick you up tomorrow morning. Diane, the owner of the art gallery, should be back soon.
All right then, let's do that.
Hold on, Agent York. We're going out to eat at Nick's Diner. Would you like to come with us?
The diner? That might be nice.
Thomas is a great cook, but Nick is the real deal. No visit to Greenvale is complete without eating at the A&G.
A very appealing proposition. Zach, what do you think? We can always go back to the hotel after eating dinner, or go directly back to the hotel. You decide, Zach.
Cenemos con ellos.
Mm-hmm.
Vamos a aceptar la propuesta para ir a cenar. Puede que encontremos alguna pista o puede que encontremos algún indicio. Nunca se sabe.
I've been sheriff here for a long time now, and this is the worst murder I've ever seen.
Our town is a little odd in some ways, but it's usually a peaceful place.
We had our fair share of cases, but just the regular stuff. A high school kid shoplifting from the milk barn, maybe? Or some hot-headed kids fighting, fueled on liquor? Nothing more than that.
Agent York, what kind of cases have you dealt with in the past?
Not much different from those you've just mentioned. The case I was on until last month, well, the guy killed 7 girls in a 3-month period. He sawed their heads off from the neck and took them back to his house. He cleaned the skulls up and used them as utensils in his daily life, to eat from or as a urine cup. He hated women. That was his way of dealing with it. He'd fill skulls with ice, cola, and rum. Then he'd down it in one gulp. For him, that was a holy ritual. The question of his mental state was the pivotal point in the court case.
Oh, man.
For me, he was insane. 100%. Drinking from the skulls, well, that is one thing, but those he had used to relieve himself, he would then just use them to drink from, too. Yeah, that was too much for me. It's just not sanitary.
Not sanitary. That's probably not the problem for most of us.
What else? Ah, yes. An ingenious law school student raped over 800 victims. That was a nasty one.
Thank you, Agent York. Now, let's talk about something else.
You don't want to hear anymore? That's a shame, isn't it, Zach? I was just about to get to the good part, too.
Sounds like you live in a totally different world. I mean, you're like an elite agent who just jumped out from a movie or something. In your eyes, we must look like we're just playing cops and robbers. I give up. I can't compete with you.
Don't say that, Emily. The cases you have solved are all full-fledged crimes. A crime is a crime. Size doesn't matter. There is no big and small. Crimes always have a criminal and a victim. No victim will ever welcome a crime, no matter what its size. So, fundamentally, there is no difference in size.
Buenas palabras para alentarlos.
Well said, Agent Morgan. We work day and night to preserve peace and order in this town. You understand that, right?
Of course, but still, I don't view shoplifting and Anna's murder as the same level of crime.
Me neither. I never even dreamt that such a thing could ever even happen in this town. I keep on expecting to see Anna here in this diner, waiting on tables.
Excuse us, Agent Morgan. We should have made dinner a more uplifting experience. Let's call it a night.
Okay. Good night, then.
Quería investigar el bar. Episodio 1, escena 7. Volvemos a la investigación. Tenemos que resolver este caso, Zack. ¿Tenemos autito de policía o no? Creo que está todo cerrado. Y creer que...
Zach, picking up from where we left off. Okay, Zach, I've been thinking about what movie I'd like to watch next. And finally I've made a decision. It's always hard to narrow it down just to one movie, but I've put a lot of thought into this, and I'm sure you'll agree with me. 1975, directed by Steven Spielberg himself, the grandfather of panic movies, set in a small town in Massachusetts. That movie made me stay away from the beach for years. I was always afraid that a hand might come floating up. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah? It's Jaws. The underwater camera work, accompanied by that John Williams music. I'd never been that scared by a movie before. But the best thing about it is that it isn't just another panic movie. The mayor who won't close the beach even when there are so many victims. Chief Brody putting the citizens' lives above all else. The film gave a lot of time to the dispute and friction between them. It certainly had a lot of messages for a 2-hour film. That's probably another reason why it was such a record-breaking hit. One of my regrets in life is that I didn't see it at the movie theater. I guess I was still just a child back then. But still, I wanted to taste that terror in real time. That reminds me, Zach. Did you know this one? Jaws also appears in another movie that was produced by Spielberg, the second Back to the Future. It was directed by Robert Zemeckis, who later made Forrest Gump. That's also a masterpiece, of course, but we'll discuss that another time. So the scene where Jaws appears is right after Marty McFly goes 30 years into the future. He passes by a movie theater and is attacked by a holographic shark. Marty is shocked, of course, but looking closer, he sees the words, Jaws Part 19. The director is credited as Steven Spielberg Jr. In reality, there were actually only 4 Jaws movies. It was still a great joke. 30 years from 1985 would be 2015.
Sé que tengo que ir.
Soon. I wonder what... Zach, we'll finish our chat later. Let's take a walk around here.
Sé que tengo que ir al hotel, ¿vale? Pero quizás al encontrar un poco más de... Muy bien, estamos en el bar. ¿Qué hace Thomas aquí?
Hello?
¿Por qué no? Sí. Veamos, tengo todo, así que es como que tampoco es que necesite algo. Pero me puedo tomar un gin tonic, un martini, un exorcista. Revuelto, no batido, no revuelto, diría el... Wow, me subió el sueñito. Vale, tenemos a la cantante por acá. A Carol. ¿Podría hablar con Carol? Ok, no puedo hablar con Carol. ¿Qué más puedo hacer? Es la antesala, no parece que haya nadie adentro. A ver. Por más de que no haya nadie adentro, es bueno observar todo. Estabilizador. Cogemos el objeto. Ok. Y para cambiarnos de trajecito. Vale, no hay nada más. Solo... Ok. Acá estás, Carol. Hablar con Carol. Actuar. ¿De qué habla? No hay razón para ocultarlo. Esa expresión y eso que hace con los ojos. Es usted actriz, ¿verdad? Sea lo que ha tomado se excedió con la dosis. Corte el rollo. Solo me recuerda a ese espectáculo que vimos en Chicago. ¿Puedo volver a hablar? No sé nada de interpretación, déjeme a solas. Ok, no me deja nada. Bueno, listo, entonces nos vamos. No pudimos buscar nada aquí. agarramos nuestro autistriquis.
Chief Broden putting the citizens' lives above all else.
Muy bien, hemos
Finn
llegado.
gave a lot of time to the dispute and friction between them. Oh, Zach, we're here. Let's continue our chat later.
Hemos llegado para hacer el informe, ¿no? De todo lo que hemos descubierto hasta el momento. A máquina de escribir. Qué tecnología que tenemos, ¿eh?
Okay then, Zach. Let's go back over our progress. First, the victim, Anna's death. She was found hanging from a tree in the forest.
Colgada en un árbol en el bosque.
She was cut open with a knife from her chest down to her stomach.
Fue abierta con un cuchillo.
The strangulation marks and skull fracture were caused after death.
Okay, eso se
Her
produjo
tongue was also
después.
bit off, and I found something inside her mouth.
Y encontraron el...
Do you remember what that was, Zach?
¿Recuerdas lo que era, Zack? Un gusano. Una semilla roja.
That's right. We found the same
Una
red
semilla
seed in
roja
her
en su
mouth.
boca. Entonces nosotros sí
According
somos
to
Zack.
Emily, it was raining when Anna was killed, but traces of tears were still evident on her face,
Sí,
which means the perpetrator killed Anna under a roof in the lumber mill,
sí,
and then carried her body into the woods after it stopped raining.
ok.
We found numerous important pieces of evidence at the site of the crime,
Pruebas en el
a
crimen.
total of 4 things.
Un total de 4 cosas.
Knee prints in the
Marca de
grass,
rodillas en la
a
hierba.
woodshed
Una
with
pieza de
metal
madera
dust,
oxidado en
a photo of a man with a
con un
tattoo on his
tatuaje en la
back.
espalda y otra cosa.
One other thing.
¿Recuerdas qué era,
Do you
Zack?
remember what that was, Zach?
Una cosa del aserradero era, si no recuerdo mal. Un tacón.
That's right.
Un
A
tacón de
broken
aguja roja.
stiletto heel.
Por el momento
Combining
vamos
this
bueno,
with the
¿eh?
other evidence suggests that 2 people came into contact with Anna's body prior to it being discovered by us. Those being the
Un
perpetrator
asesino,
who
el
killed
otro la
Anna
señorita
and
tacón
the
de aguja.
stiletto heel. There is also the possibility that a
Puede que
third
un
party
tercero
carried
llevaba
Anna
a
into the
Ana.
woods.
Eso implica que
means we
podemos
could be
estar
dealing with
tratando
3
con
people.
3 personas.
2 or 3
Dos o
people.
3 personas. La señorita
In any
tacón de
case,
aguja
Miss
puede
Stiletto
tener
Heel may have
información
vital
vital.
information.
Tenemos que dar con
I
él.
need to find her next. We didn't use
Hemos usado
forensic methods,
métodos
but we're still
forenses,
closing
pero
in on the
estamos
criminal.
acercándonos al criminal.
Have I forgotten
¿Olvido
anything?
algo?
Ah, of
Sí,
course.
claro. Las
The
marcas de
marks
su
on her
mano
hand
indican
tell us
que
that Anna
Ana
was
sostenía
gripping
algo cuando
something when
murió.
she died. Do you remember that,
¿Recuerdas,
Zach?
Uf,
What do you
¿Qué
think
crees que
she was
sostenía?
holding on to?
un objeto redondo.
That's right. A round object. The marks on her hand suggest a peace mark. The man in the photo found in the woods had a tattoo of an upside-down peace mark on his back.
Podría existir
These
una
2
relación
could well
entre
be
ambas
related.
cosas.
But we don't know for sure. Next,
¿Qué vamos con la
town
gente del
folk.
pueblo?
A few are
Algunos
worthy of
merecen
special
atención
attention.
especial.
Carol
Carol McLean,
singer
la
and
cantante y
barmaid.
dueña del bar,
She's Thomas's
hermana de
sister.
Thomas. Luego tenemos
Then
a
there's Nick
Cormack,
Cormack,
el
the
dueño
owner
del
of the diner.
restaurante.
Both
Parecen
of them
ambos
seem to be
esconden algo.
hiding something. There's
Luego está
Diane,
Diana, la
the
dueña
owner of
de
the
la
art
galería de
gallery,
arte,
who's out of
que
town.
está ausente.
Then we
También
have
tenemos
problematic,
el problemático
old,
viejo
rich,
y
and eccentric
excéntrico
Harry.
Harry.
Both will be tough
Será
to
difícil
crack.
tratar con ellos.
Well,
Bueno,
we just have
tendremos
to
que
go
ir
one by
uno por
one.
uno.
I've been
Una de
thinking,
las mejores cosas del
one
pueblo
of the
es
biggest
su
rewards
deliciosa
here is the
comida.
fantastic food.
La
Enjoying food
comida
is
es algo
cultural, and
cultural,
yet it's
pero
also a bit
incivilizado.
uncivilized.
Es curioso que la comida
It's
me
interesting
anime
how
a
good
trabajar
food
duro
motivates me to
en
work
una
harder during
investigación.
investigations. Oh, and on Emily's back.
Sentía algo extraño
It was strange to me.
de Emily.
Hey, don't take that the wrong way, Zach. I wasn't getting all excited or anything. But it did make me feel strange. Nostalgic and sad almost.
It's starting to rain.
Empieza a llover. Creo que resolver este
I
caso
think
nos
this
llevará un
case may
tiempo.
take a while.
Emily,
Lunchtime, Emily.
hora de comer,
I'll
Emily.
eat later.
Comeré luego.
You'll eat right now, young
Vaya a
lady.
comer ahora, señorita.
You need to listen to your mother.
Tienes que hacer
I want to hear the rest of the story.
Eat your
como
lunch,
y luego echamos una siesta.
then take a nap.
Entonces te
Then
contaré el
I'll
resto.
tell you the rest.
But I want to hear it now.
No hay por qué
No need to
apresurarse.
rush things.
Debes
You
vivir
must
tu vida al
live
ritmo que
your
se te
life at the pace that is right for you.
Honey.
Viene, cielo. Una casita de perro. Un alpaca. Señora de tacones rojos. Aunque su coartada es que no estaba en el pueblo. Completamos. Ok. Volvemos con el sueño de los gemelos.
Are you thirsty?
¿Tienes sed? No, ya me tomé un martini.
You must be very thirsty.
¿Quiero agüita?
You only take milk with your coffee?
No, solo toma leche.
Coffee
Con
with
leche.
milk. That's all.
Café con leche. ¡Ah!
Who are you?
My name is Becky.
Becky Ames, amiga de Ana.
What are you doing here?
My name is Becky.
Anna's friend?
My name is Becky.
Becky puede ser la sospechosa de la mujer de
Your
tacones.
throat is quenched.
Una vez saciado la sed,
You
haz lo que
must
te debas
do what
hacer.
you must do. Take a sip of coffee and go.
¡Ana, tomes el café! Bueno, ya se lo tomo.
Huh?
Está abierta la puerta. Ok, tenemos cosas aquí, a ver. Una piruleta. Y una galleta de chocolate. Dos maniquí. Vale, vamos a tener que pasar por esta puerta. Otra vez el niño. Ok, es completamente distinta a las que pasó. Cuando no veo las luces, se desaparecen los maniquís.
That's me.
Yo
That's me when it happened.
soy yo cuando todo pasó? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Cuándo? ¿Cómo? Me estás dejando con muchas preguntas, George.
Zach, this case looks like it's directly related to us. I do not know how yet, but I do know I need some coffee.
Con leche.
George said he'd have someone pick us up in the parking lot. Let's get some breakfast with Polly first.
Café con leche. George, café con leche.
Whoa there!
¿Alguien nuevo?
Did you need something?
Tiene un dálmata, no puede ser.
No, I
malo.
was just passing by. I didn't think anybody else was here other than Polly. The door opening like that it surprised me, that's all.
Forrest Casey, vendedor de árboles. Si tiene un dálmata no
I'm
puede ser
Kaysen,
malo.
Forrest Kaysen. Nice to meet you. I travel a whole lot, you see, selling tree saplings. Just the usual salesman doing the usual road trip. Sometimes I feel, I don't know, like a jolly old bumblebee spreading pollen.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan.
I get it. You're the special agent Scarface that everyone's yakking about. Nice to meet you, Francis.
Special Agent Scarface? I'd need a bigger scar to live up to that name. Call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
What? You got it. York.
Is this your first visit here then?
No, sir. Actually, I've been coming here once or twice a year for, a while now. I don't get much business here, but it sure does make a fine vacation. I mean, it's a gorgeous hotel at a bargain price. It's so relaxing in these parts, too. Oh, I just love all the nature. I feel so relaxed here. Say hi to Willie. Oh, don't worry, he's a good boy. Do you like dogs?
Hey, Willie. How are you doing?
He's pretty smart, too. Oops, before I forget, let me give you this. It's just a sample of what I sell.
Thank you. How kind of you.
Sacó otro.
So, what brings the old FBI out here? Sounds like more than just a vacation.
A murder, actually. The perpetrator is still out there. Try to stay indoors at night and during the rain. We want to prevent it from happening again, okay?
Oh, it's a darn shame. Places like this used to be the safest in America.
Could I ask you something? Do you know a lot about seeds?
Seeds? Gardening, huh? You don't look like a green thumb, but let me tell you though. I'm pretty much the only one who can make those saplings sprout. There's a trick to it that can't really be passed on, you know? It's like, the secret of making a good smoked ham, something like that. But you know, once they sprout, you don't need to do much. You can leave it be and, why, it'll turn into a big tree no matter what happens. Kind of like those stocks that politicians buy that just keep growing and growing. Well, you just wait and see. This town is gonna love them. Right. We were just about to go take a morning stroll, so I'll get going. Good luck now with that case.
Thanks.
Zach, do you remember what the coffee said? Forrest Kaysen. F.K.
This show has just begun.
Ok, yo pensé que podía ser bueno, pero ahora ya... Ya lo estoy sospechando de que a lo mejor me equivoqué solamente por el perrito. Me dijeron café con leche. Vamos a tomar un café con leche.
Breakfast looks as good as yesterday's.
I hope you enjoy it.
I will, and thank you. I just met Kaysen, actually.
Oh, good old Mr. Kaysen. Did he give you a sapling?
As a matter of fact, he did. Don't tell me he gives one to everyone he meets.
No, only to the people he feels comfortable with. He told me. He must feel really comfortable with me.
He must. Is there anyone he hasn't given a sapling to?
Mustard? Okay, I'll just get it from the kitchen then.
No, mustard has nothing to do with it. I was wondering if you know of anyone that Kaysen didn't give a sapling to.
Oh, too much pepper. I did think it might be. I'm sorry.
Oh, Zach, I forgot. We'll never get anything out of her, will we? Forrest Kaysen. He's hiding something. You think so too, right, Zach?
But no need to rush. All secrets are hidden until they are inevitably divulged. The powers of entropy. The world exposes everything and causes chaos. Just like this coffee.
Café con leche. Ok. Aparece nueva gente. La poli se hace la idiotita. Poli se evita todo. Como siempre. Vamos a guardar la partida, gente, y lo vamos a dejar aquí. Complicada la situación, porque Poli no ayuda. No ayudas, Poli. ¿Qué hay aquí? A ver. Ya no hay nada. Poli, no ayudas tú, Poli, Vamos a guardar la partida como dije. Y vamos a dejar el capítulo por acá. Espero que les haya gustado. Si les ha gustado no olviden comentarle, darle like, suscribirse para no perderse ninguno de mis videos. Nos vemos la próxima. Chau, chau.